We begin tonight with former President Trump, who said his own arrest is imminent. A grand jury here in New York City weighing the evidence. Could Trump become the first former president ever to face criminal charges? Outside the courthouse in Manhattan today, police have now set up metal barricades tonight. Over the weekend, the former president saying he would be indicted on Tuesday. He called for his supporters to, quote, protest and take our nation back. Authorities have warned against that. Even Republican House Speaker McCarthy saying Americans should not protest if there is any arrest. Prosecutors are not commenting tonight. The potential charges involve hush money paid to porn star Stormy Daniels days before the 2016 election. Was it to conceal any connection to Daniels from the voters? Trump's lawyer and fixer, one-time lawyer Michael Cohen, admitting to arranging that payment. He has now testified before the grand jury several times. And tonight here, news on one more witness at the request of the former president. Testimony from a lawyer named Robert Costello, who said he was once Michael Cohen's lawyer. So tonight here, what could all of this look like? Here's our chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl, leading us off tonight.
Police in New York City are setting up barricades in downtown Manhattan ahead of former President Trump's possible indictment by the Manhattan District Attorney. The former president said over the weekend he'd be arrested on Tuesday, telling his supporters, quote, protest, take our nation back. But Trump's own spokesman said he had not received any notice of an impending arrest. And the DA, Alvin Bragg, has not commented.
And if you don't fight like hell...
The last time Trump portrayed himself as a victim and called for protests was in advance of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy said Trump's supporters should not come out to protest this time.
I don't think people should protest this, no. Nobody should harm one another in this.
DA Alvin Bragg told his staff, "We do not tolerate attempts to intimidate our office or threaten the rule of law in New York." Potential charges against Trump involve $130,000 in hush money he paid to a porn star named Stormy Daniels in the final days of the 2016 campaign, allegedly to conceal their relationship from voters. Prosecutors are investigating whether he falsified documents and violated election laws. Trump originally denied any knowledge of the hush money.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
But Trump later acknowledged that he did know, and his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, pleaded guilty to federal campaign finance violations, admitting he helped arrange the payment and claiming it was at Trump's direction. Today, lawyer Robert Costello, a close ally of the former president, told the grand jury that he was once Cohen's lawyer and that Cohen previously told him that Trump had committed no crime.
If they want to go after Donald Trump and they have solid evidence, so be it. But Michael Cohen is far from solid evidence.
Cohen, however, says Costello was never his lawyer. Republicans, including several of Trump's potential 2024 rivals, accused the Manhattan DA of playing politics. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis took a shot at the DA, but also a clear shot at Trump.
Look, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use something about porn star hush money payments, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda.
Trump also faces a criminal investigation in Fulton County, Georgia, over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. And he faces federal investigations into his handling of classified documents and his role in the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
But in the meantime, back to this case here in New York City, and John Karl live in Washington tonight. John, if, and this still remains a major if, the former president is indicted, walk us through what could potentially happen next year. What do we know?
Well, David, it is important to emphasize that we do not know if an indictment is coming, but ABC News has learned that today the Secret Service had a call with the NYPD to go over logistics, including security at the courthouse in the event of an arraignment if he is in fact indicted. What would typically happen in a case like this is he would be permitted to turn himself in for booking, and that would include fingerprinting in normal cases and the taking of a mugshot. Also, in cases it would typically include the defendant being handcuffed. We don't know if that would happen in this case, David, but I do not expect.